All right, welcome to the training, everybody. I am Trevor, and we're actually going to start by talking about this right here that's highlighted on your screen: startup supplier challenges. Now, when I say startup, I'm really defining most of you guys right now. Most of you guys are a startup. When you come to us, you don't have a business, and you're just getting off the ground, right? So you'd be considered a startup. And startups have a very specific set of challenges when they're trying to work with existing suppliers that are out there. Name a few. Those of you guys who are here, for you being a startup, what would have been some of your challenges trying to get set up with suppliers or trying to come up with product for your store? Issues with getting suppliers, or with just issues with managing or using your suppliers? What are some of the challenges you guys have had? Paperwork, Curtis says. What kind of paperwork? Are you talking like tax stuff? Finding suppliers, I agree. How about just finding them? And not just suppliers. I'm going to put in brackets here, or parentheses, good suppliers, right, Gail? Sometimes that's a challenge. Jerry, yep, trade references. That's a good one. You'll notice suppliers will ask for trade references, and that's tough when you're a startup because guess what? You don't have any, right? Plenty of competition. I agree. Yeah, permits. I agree. Permits, and under permits, I'm going to say like, you know, LLC information, or or DBA, sales tax number, etc. Right? Very much agree with that. Yeah, trade references, I'll explain that real quick. That's just where somebody wants to know, I'm a supplier and you come to me and you want to have me drop ship products for you. I want to know how decent of a company you are. It's like if you get a resume and you're looking to hire somebody, you like to have some names of some people that you can call to follow up to see how legit this person is. Trade references would be people you've done business with in regards to the business. You could try that. Vicky says, can we use work history for trade references? Yeah, in fact, if you don't have any, you can try that. If you've got some names of people that have worked with you and know you, you can try it. It'll work with some suppliers. A lot of suppliers will be like, well, we were looking for references more in regards to the business and not to you on a personal level. Yeah. Different, yeah, suppliers, I agree with that, Curtis. Supplier differences, in policy and procedure, maybe. Something like that. I find this one right here to be just finding good suppliers, quote unquote, good suppliers, to be a particular challenge. I actually want to address that one very specifically. Because here's the truth, when you're starting in drop shipping, even if you've got access to some really good direct drop shippers, maybe our team's helping you find some of those, maybe you're finding them on your own, whatever the case may be. Here's some of the challenges most startups have with their first suppliers. First of all, can't find any. So, like, for example, you have this great idea, right? You've got this great niche idea in your mind, and you're thinking to yourself, okay, I really want to sell trendy office supplies. It's like really trendy desks and really trendy and modern chairs and decor. And you're like, that's my niche. I love it. I know there's demand for it. I buy the stuff. I want to start a business with that. And then you go out there and you start looking and you can't find a supplier for it, right? Or The suppliers you get access to are actually sort of just subpar. You know, they don't have a big enough product line or whatever. Maybe their prices aren't really great. You just can't find suppliers at all. That happens. Now, if we can't find drop shipping suppliers, guys, let me ask you a question. Where is everybody else getting their stuff then? Because you might be looking at your competitors and other companies out there that are reselling that same stuff, that same modern, trendy office stuff, and you're thinking, oh, how do they get it, right? Where is it? How are they getting access to it? Well, isn't it? Here's the difference. You're looking for a drop shipper, which is a specialty service, which sometimes feels a little like finding a needle in a haystack. Although that's a bit exaggerated, but sometimes it feels that way. If you didn't have to drop ship and you could buy inventory, you would have a much better opportunity to find suppliers, right? There's more suppliers out there that are willing to sell to you in bulk than there are drop shippers. So I'm going to say, you know, I guess this goes along with the first one there, but you got to remember, drop shipping is unique. Okay, it's not standard in all industries, and in some industries you're just going to struggle to find decent suppliers. That's just, it is what it is. And then your options are, well, I have to either carry inventory, or you'll see some companies that won't even do that. They'll say, not only do you have to carry inventory, but you have to have a storefront. You can't work with us unless you have a physical retail store. And most of you guys, that's not an option, nor is it ever going to be an option. You're here to do business online. That presents several different challenges, doesn't it? Or how about this, guys? How about you find a supplier, and we mentioned this just a minute ago, but prices seem high, right? They seem high as compared to like some of your competition that you look at. It's probably because your competition isn't drop shipping. They're probably buying in bulk, warehousing, carrying inventory, and they're getting a better deal. Or they are drop shipping, but they've been drop shipping with their supplier so long that their supplier gives them a better price. That could be true too, right? It's possible, isn't it? So I mean, we could keep going on. We could probably make this list longer. It's no doubt some of you guys can relate to some of this stuff, right? Prices seem high. How about this one? I found a supplier, but their product line is limited, right? They don't have that much. They have some of the stuff I want, not all of it, and I can't find anybody else that'll carry more. Right? These are all challenges that are pretty unique to startups, because guess what? You don't have a lot of negotiating power, right? If I'm a supplier and I'm big and I'm busy and I do a lot of volume, and you come to me as a startup and you're like, hey, I don't really have a business going, just getting off the ground, but I'd like to have you drop ship products for me. What incentive do I have as a big supplier to even want to work with you? I don't know if you're even going to be able to sell a lot of my product because you're a startup, and a lot of, in my mind, a lot of startups aren't going to do well, right? That's what I'm thinking as a supplier. Now, they don't know that you guys are in a coaching program and you guys have a big advantage, but, right, that's their initial thought. You almost have to earn the right to work with some of the better suppliers that are out there. And that can be a bit discouraging. So there, I painted this awful picture for you guys now, right? Now you guys are all depressed and thinking, why am I doing drop shipping? It's too hard. Well, look, these are just some of the challenges that we're up against. Let me offer you some solutions to this, okay? And this, I've done this not only with countless clients, but I've done this for myself over the years. I just feel like this is ultimately what helps us overcome a lot of the issues. This is your silver bullets, so to speak, to fix a lot of these issues, okay? It seems a little oversimplified, but really this is how I feel. You have to fix these issues. So there's our issues. Let's talk about solutions. Knowing the issues helps us come up with the solutions, right? Actually, let's call this options. Here's how we can approach this. Here are our options. Knowing these are our problems, here are our options, okay? One, find a new niche. Now, that's hard to do if you're already in building and working on your website. But I suppose one of your options is go a different direction. If you're coming up with ideas with your coach and you can't come up with anything that has viable suppliers, guess what? Choose a different niche. The whole goal of our training program isn't to get you guys to set up one site that makes you rich and that's it. I hope that happens, and some of you maybe that does happen, but that's not the goal. The goal of our program is to help you get that first site off the ground, get it making money, and teach you how to do this so you can rinse and repeat. You can do it over and over again, so that if you need a second website or a third website or a fourth website, you're able to go through the process and create it without having to pay somebody some exorbitant amount of money to do it for you. Because your first website may not be your best, and for me, that was certainly true. My first website was definitely not my best website. I won't tell you now, but one of these times I'll have to do a training where I kind of give you some of my history of some of the things that I've done and how I fell flat on my face several times before I got something to work well. Now, granted, I wasn't in a coaching program like you guys. I didn't have a mentor. I was trying to figure it out on my own. So you're in a better position than I was, but I made some pretty big mistakes my first time around. But remember, this isn't going to be our only one, so consider finding another niche, right? If there's not a lot of suppliers for this modern trendy furniture that I want to do that's a super hyper specific niche, as good as it is, I can't do it to start. So I'm going to find something else that works. Don't get so married to your niche that you're not willing to go look for elsewhere, okay? That's your first option. Your second option is to go with what you've already got. I'm just going to say go with what you have already. Meaning, if you've got, as long as you've got one supplier that can get you started, run with that. Because I'll tell you something funny that happens, and maybe this will help clarify some things in some of your guys' minds. You'll notice that we don't. I certainly don't. As your coach, I don't spend a ton of time helping you. Well, I do, but anyway, how do I want to word this? I don't spend a ton of time being overly critical about what you decide to sell. Like if you want to get into pet supplies, I can get behind that. If you want to get into furniture, I can get behind that. If you want to get into gardening or sporting gear or luggage or the decor, whatever, health products, I get excited about all of it because there's money in every single one of those markets. And I don't think it's about what you choose to sell that ultimately makes you money in internet marketing. Remember, you're a marketer. You make your money from good, smart marketing, and I feel like that's where you're going to get your edge. There's money in all of those industries. So don't like that's one reason why we don't want you to get married to a niche, because you can of course make money in other industries. But once you get up and going, maybe you only have this one supplier that's kind of anemic. They don't have very much, but you go with it anyway. Well, if you get into marketing and you start to get your site to the top of Google, right? Through good, smart SEO and marketing and some of the stuff you guys are going to be learning, optimization, that type of stuff, all of a sudden you start showing up all over Google. And then all of a sudden you start finding yourself in Facebook and Twitter and in social media, and you're getting found all over the place there. And your brand is rising and you're getting found more and more. Now, maybe you don't have the most satisfied customers because when they come to your site, there's not a lot there. But I can guarantee you, if you have good search engine rankings and good visibility online, suppliers will be knocking your door down to try to get products on your shelves. Because in the end, they're in this game to make money too, right? They just want to get their products out to places that are going to make them money. And a funny thing happens. They start contacting you and they start saying, "Hey, Trevor, we found your site. we noticed you got some great stuff, but maybe you'd be interested in carrying some of our products. Here's our site. Check it out. What do you think? And all of a sudden, all that power and all that clout that initially was there with your supplier or with suppliers, and you couldn't, you're knocking on their doors trying to get something set up, and they're too busy, and they don't get back to you, or they're not interested because you're a startup or you don't have trade references. All those things, all those challenges we were talking about, all of a sudden they're knocking on your door and they're interested in working with you, right? That's exciting. It's like the tables have turned, and because you're a smart marketer and you have high rankings and you're getting found, all of a sudden people want to come to you, and you may not ever have to go looking for a supplier again because people are going to want to get their product on your shelves. That's how you start getting access to better name brands and better suppliers and better pricing in the drop shipping world. You have to prove that you're worth it. You have to earn your stripes, so to speak. And a lot of you guys don't realize that when you start. That's why we push you to get a supplier, get a niche, get your website up. Let's get the marketing going, because we always say, look, if you do that, you're going to find better suppliers. Don't get stuck in the rut of looking at your existing 2 or 3 suppliers and thinking to yourself, how am I supposed to make money? They're not even that good. I don't even have some of the best name brands. I wish I had more products. They're out of stock a whole bunch. You can find a million reasons to be negative about your suppliers. But if you can at least find a couple of reasons to move forward with them, you'll get better suppliers as you move along. It's always the way it works. And I always have a really hard time convincing you guys that that's the case. But if you understand the intuition behind it and why suppliers are going to want to work with you once you get going, maybe that'll motivate you guys to try to work on your marketing instead of stressing and obsessing over your current suppliers. After all, here's a great example. Consider a company like this right here, right? Amazon wasn't the Amazon that you know it years ago, right? Because the only thing they sold was what? When they first started, what was Amazon famous for? Not the Amazon of the last few years, but the Amazon of years ago. Yeah, books, right? It's where you went to go buy a book. And they became such a prominent, large brand, and they did so well in search that guess what? They said, well, maybe we can offer some other product lines, right? Hey, we've been so successful in books, why don't we try to sell something else? Why? Because their marketing was super successful, and that enabled them to offer different product lines. Think about, I know these are grand scale examples, but think about Apple for just a minute. What kind of business was Apple in initially as a company? They were more in the computer business, right? And then they revolutionized the world with the iPhone. And then what's one of their more recent product offerings? A company that sells phones and computers. Yeah, now they do watches, right? But this is a technology company that gets into the watch industry. Why? Because they're a marketing giant. And so in a small way, I hope you can kind of see how this applies to you. Don't look at your business through such a narrow lens where you're just evaluating the startup suppliers, because after all, a lot of your suppliers that you start with may not be the ones you finish with. You may have some good ones that you use forever and ever, but more often than not, you negotiate prices down with existing suppliers that you've had for years that you're doing a ton of volume with. Guess what? If you meet with one of their managers and you show the amount of sales you have, you'll be able to get their prices to come down, right? We're going to be able to address all of these problems that we had here by just being smart and getting our marketing going. So don't tell me I can't make money, Trevor, because I got thin margins. I disagree. You're not making money because you're not marketing. If you would market, you're going to get better margins. I can guarantee it. Or don't tell me you don't have enough products. It's not unique enough. You can't find suppliers. Here's the thing. If you only have just one supplier, and this is kind of what I want to finish with, showing you guys today. one of the things that I don't like to hear is, hey, I've only got one supplier, and guess what? It's not enough to get my site going. They don't have enough product. It's not good enough. I'm not going to be able to start my business. I just have one supplier. I can't find more. I've heard those excuses before. Guess what? Do this. Here's your third option here. Go with what you have and use Amazon to supplement. What do I mean by that? Well, I mean use Amazon.com as a supplier for your site. Now you might say, no, wait a minute, they're not a wholesale drop shipper, right? No, they're a retail company, but they will drop ship. Why not use their products to fill in some of your gaps? If your niche is, for example, beauty products, and you have a ton of makeup products from one company, but you have very little in let's say perfumes or fragrances or whatever, and you need more of those, but you can't find any other suppliers for them, go to Amazon and just sell retail products on your website. There's no rule that says your website can't sell retail dropship items, right? So just use Amazon.com just like a normal person would. It's not their affiliate program, so it's not this. Although this is one that I would like to talk to you guys about at some point. This is Amazon's affiliate program, their partner program, where you can make 5-10% off of referrals to Amazon. That's not what this is. I'm saying you're just going to use Amazon like a normal person. You're going to go to Amazon. You're going to find a product like this right here, assuming you were selling bee supplies. This is a beehive top. And you're going to add it to your site. Just like this. I'm going to do an example with you. I'm on Volusion right now. I come over here to inventory. I click on products. And I'm going to add this Amazon product directly to my store. Because guess what? My store sells beekeeping equipment, but I have very little hive tops. Just like this. I can't find them anywhere, right? I don't have a supplier for them. I really want them on my site. Amazon carries them. So what do? I just go put the Amazon product on my site. If it sells, I'm going to have Amazon ship it out for me. It's just the retail drop shipping strategy that you guys have been using on eBay, but adapted to work on your website so that you can fill in those gaps in your inventory so that you don't look so small time. There's no shame in having a normal supplier and you have a big supplement coming from retail drop shipping, because guess what? I can get good name brands off of retailers. I can't do that sometimes through normal wholesale drop shipping. So I'm going to take this product right here, and we'll just pretend this is a beekeeping website. I'm going to copy the title. I'm going to add the product here, right? Inventory products. I click the add button, and I just paste in the title. For the code, I'm going to do this, AMZ dash, and I'm just going to make up a number here. Weight, I always put in 1 because I'm doing free shipping. Here's the product description. I'll just highlight that, copy it, and drop it here in the description, right? Price is where I get a lot of questions, but price it just like you would if you were doing the retail strategy. I can get this for $76.38. Right? That's the listed price here. You'll have to check the shipping on Amazon. I of course have Amazon Prime, so the shipping is going to be free for me. If you don't have Amazon Prime, there may be some shipping expense, so you may want to just add it to your cart and see what shipping is going to cost you. But for me, it's going to be free. So $76.38. I'm going to mark this up a little bit. In terms of how much, I mean, I'm going to mark it up pretty aggressively. I don't have any eBay fees when I'm selling on my store. I still have my 3% PayPal fee. So I might mark this up 30%. So I might take $76.38 and times that by, 76.38 times 1.3. That would bring me up to, $99. I might sell this for $99.99 on my website, right? $99.99. See, if I sell it for $99.99, right? I've got a 3% PayPal fee, so that's going to be about $3 in PayPal fee. plus my 76.38, right? So I'm about 80 bucks. I'm going to make about 20 bucks on this item. That leaves me about a 20% profit margin. That's pretty solid. Now, could I sell it for that much? Yeah, sure. You know, what's interesting is when you have your own website, you can sort of command higher prices. I tell a lot of you guys this, but there was a time I sold a particular type of jewelry on my eBay store, and the prices got so low I couldn't really make much money with it. But I turned around and I made a website for it and started selling it on a website, and I was able to command almost triple the price of this product selling on my own website, whereas I couldn't sell it for that on eBay. For this, Valerie, I have no eBay fees because I'm selling this off of my own website. So there is no eBay fees. There's always eBay fees if I'm selling it on eBay, but since this is a website, I'm not factoring in a 10% eBay fee. The only fee I'm factoring in is the PayPal 3%. But yeah, Linda, I mean, retail drop shipping, the margins tend to be a little more slim if you're selling on eBay, but if you're selling on your website, it commands higher prices. Which is why I think this is a totally legit and viable strategy if in the short term to the midterm you need to supplement your site with additional product. Bring on Amazon. There's no shame in it. It's not like you're copping out. It doesn't mean your niche is bad. It just means you're a startup, and those are some of the challenges that we have. So I'm going to go categories, and I'm going to put it in, you know, whatever category I want. I need to save the image. A lot of times on Amazon, you can right-click once here and then right-click over here. So this is the strategy. I know that sounds funny, but you right-click here on the left, and you can't really save it. But I've got this bigger image that's frozen on my right, and if I right-click on that, I get the save image as. That's like the trick to save Amazon images. Otherwise, you know what I could do? I could do what we always show you guys how to do. I could go to google.com/images, and I could do a search, and I could find the same image right here. It's kind of small. I don't like that as much. That's a different looking image. So I'll use this one, and I could save this image and use that for my site, right? So I'll come do it, image management. I'll hit add, choose file, and save it. There's the image. Save, and I'm done. This product goes up on my site, and nobody's the wiser, right? It looks like a legit product right on my site. There it is right there, right? There it is. To somebody who's just looking at my site and they're seeing I'm carrying this really nice product with a great name brand, it doesn't matter it's from Amazon. Sure, it's priced up, but it fills in my inventory gaps that are difficult to deal with when you're a new seller. So don't be hesitant to do this. I think this is easily one of the best strategies you can have. And you may not always use these Amazon products, right? Let's say I do this for the next 6 months. I get my marketing going, I'm up on Google, and I'm getting so many better offers with suppliers that I can just scrap these. That could happen. This might be a Band-Aid you just put on some of these problems we talked about earlier. But I'm telling you, this works. Does it work with more than just Amazon? Of course it does. It works with Walmart. It works with Target. It works with any major retailer you want it to work with. But fill in those gaps in your inventory, and don't tell me that you don't have better options and that it's not going to work. Can't tell me that your margins are too thin. I get that. They are because you're a startup. Earn the right to get better margins. Earn the right to work with better name brands. Those things happens over time, and not sooner. All of us had to go through this very same thing. Some of you guys might get awesome suppliers right out the gate that you use forever and ever. And if you find those kind of suppliers, fabulous. They're out there for some niches, but not for all. And that's why I felt like we had to have this conversation today. So, guys, we don't have a lot of time left. I want to get finished up. I told you I wouldn't go too long, and I meant that. So let's keep it short. Questions for me real quick before we finish up. By the way, next week we'll be having our same Volusion training. Same time, same place on a on a Wednesday, so come on out to that next week. We'll have more training to do then. Yeah, this is mostly specifically about your website. Although you can do it on eBay too, right? You have a supplier and it's not performing real well on eBay, you can start bringing in retailers to bolster you. But in the end, I think all of you guys should be looking at getting a website if you haven't already. There you go. There you go, Cheryl. Back to my notes for just a sec. There's the options. Find a new niche. Go with what you already have or have already. Go with what you have and use Amazon to supplement, or fill in the blank right here, right? Use somebody else. I like Amazon though. I just showed you how to do an Amazon product. Pretty darn easy. Okay, great. Well, it looks like pretty self-explanatory. Guys, if you have any other questions and I'm your coach, email me. Otherwise, we can talk about it in next week's training. I sure hope this was helpful to you. This is a conversation I've had with a lot of you, but I wanted to have it in detail with all of you, have it recorded as something you can refer to later. So I hope that helps. Use some retailers to supplement. It makes a big difference, okay? Okay, everybody. Have a great rest of your week. I'll see you soon.